Welcome back, parents and caregivers of Green Bay High School students. Good to see you hanging in there, and we're delving deeper now into the day-to-day inner workings of our Google environment with our students and teachers and amongst our school. And in particular, we're looking at Google Classroom. And I'm not overstating the fact that Google Classroom as a piece of software and technology has really revolutionized the way that teachers and students are working together. So the way this has come about is, of course, that it's all well and good to be able to share these documents and folders amongst people, but imagine that you're a teacher trying to share with 30 students one piece of work, and how time-consuming that would be to actually either share with all of those students individually by entering their names, okay, or alternatively managing and creating different groups that you could then share with via kind of group email accounts. Either way, that's quite a cumbersome way of dealing with a whole bunch of resources, and of course we're talking about lots of resources across multiple lessons across multiple years. And so Google Classroom has really revolutionized the way we do this. So what I'm going to do in this video is give you a look at what Google Classroom looks at from the student's perspective. So what we do, we jump into our web browser, we either go to classroom.google.com or we install the web app for Classroom. And as you can see, it's that same email address. Now, it's the first time that this user's signed in, and so they're going to have to tell Google Classroom that yes, in fact, I'm a student. I don't think I really need to keep up to date with all the latest and greatest. And the first time I've jumped into their Google Classroom, this is it. So there's two ways the student can join a class. The first way is that they can be invited manually by a teacher, and the second way is that they can actually join a class by entering the unique class code that their teacher would give them. And I'll show you in the teacher video how that looks. So at the moment my teacher has already invited me to join a class, so I'm going to hit the join button, and that's going to happen fairly quickly. And as you can see, it's a very sparse, nice, modern layout. On the left hand side we've got topics, so we can actually filter our stream. So what that is effectively Classroom acts as a giant news feed, similar to the way a Facebook or a Twitter or an Instagram feed works, with assignments, announcements, questions and things all ordered chronologically. But we can tag those with topics so that we can actually narrow down our focus to what we're currently working on. So our teachers post to the class, they post assignments or announcements, and then we can also make comments and post to the class also, but our teachers have the ability to actually mute us or stop us doing that if it gets a bit silly. So what we're looking at is the home view or the stream. So there's a chronological view of the different assignments and announcements being made in Classroom. There is the Classmates tab, and currently I'm the only person sitting in this class, and then there is an About tab. So it gives me some information about what room we're in, as well as viewing any upcoming assignments and things in Google Calendar, but I'll get back to that in a later video. So, as I said, there are three different types of ways that a teacher posts something to our classroom. The first way that we can see here at the bottom is an announcement. An announcement is something that this teacher wants to share quickly with the class that doesn't require us to have our individual copies of a particular document, or it's something they just want to share and we move on from. So for example, this maths teacher has shared today's lesson with us. So in geometry we're going to be using protractors, and what they've done is they've given us the learning objectives and a copy of the worksheet. Even though we're going to have a paper copy, they've given us a digital copy to help organise our lives for us, and a link to a video, a bit of a reminder about how we use protractors, and they've tagged that under the topic geometry. You can imagine that once the year's got underway, we'll have lots of posts with lots of announcements and lots of assignments, and so being able to filter down to geometry or number or statistics or whatever it is we're working on at the time will be quite important. The second type of post that we have in Classroom is an assignment. This is where a teacher can actually assign a topic, and actually, if I click on open there, actually assign work to us that we have a due date for and that we will get an individual copy of. So as you can see, when I'm done I can turn it in. At that point I'll lose control Okay, so files you add or create can be viewed and edited by a teacher. Every single student who signs into my class will automatically be given, and signs into that assignment, will automatically be given their own copy of that Google Doc. So when I jump into that Google Doc, I can be editing and working on my assignment, and when I hit turn in, I will lose the right to actually edit and view that assignment. I can add other documents or files to it, so it might be that I need to create a video or a presentation, or I create something like a website online and I just need to add the link to the assignment. Okay, or I can create things from Google Docs from scratch. So if I jump into that tab, as you can see, it's first.last, it's my individual name there. I'll change the name on my document and I'll be able to go through and complete the questions that are asked of me. Now this might be an assignment that's also given to me as a paper copy as well. I've got the ability to turn that in just as I do straight from Google Classroom itself. So if I turn that in now, it'll be submitted. Cool. My teacher will see that it's done. It's marked for me as done. And if I refresh the page for that doc now, what you'll see is I now only have view-only access. It's turned in. I can't edit it anymore. Cool. So that's assignments. And then the last type of post is a question, and so a teacher can ask a multi-choice question. They could set up an open forum type question, but my teachers use the example here: how confident am I at achieving in the upcoming assessment? This would be an example of my teacher trying to put together different packages for different students based on what level they think they're at. So I'm going to say, oh yep, cool, let's be honest, I'm very confident, and then I'll submit that and the teacher will get a notification of that as well. We'll give you a rundown of how this looks from the teacher perspective, but the last thing I'll quickly show is that all of the classes that I sign up to will appear on the left-hand side, and I can actually look at the upcoming work that's due. I've got things to do, which, as you can see, my practice assessment is well overdue now. It's the 22nd of November, and this was due in almost 2 weeks ago. And I can also view the work that I've done as well and jump into those. I can filter by the different classes I'm a part of, and I can also look at that through a calendar view, but we'll look at that in more depth in another video. Oh, my Rio assignment's due next Wednesday. Better get onto that. Catch you later.